We will have the monthly reports. In new business, we have the Historic Preservation Commission appointment, an intergovernmental agreement between West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development, and the discussion of the West Point Christmas on the Hooch sponsorship. Those are the items on our agenda. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, tonight we have public comment. Is there anybody here that would like to make public comment? Seeing none, we will skip over that, and we will begin with the monthly reports. We will start with the police department. So, Chief?
Ladies and gentlemen of the council, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Good evening. I will be presenting you with the statistical report for the month of August for the police department. Before I get started, National Night Out tonight, John Hoggs Park, started at 5, it goes till 7, so swing by and have a ball with us when we're done, please. August, we had 105 total incidents generated, incident reports. That's up 16 from July. Of those incidents, 74 were cleared, either via miscellaneously or by arrest. That's also up 13 from July. We had 20 arrests, which was up 5. 135 citations were issued. That's up 56 from July due to traffic detail of Labor Day weekend. 36 written warnings. 23 new warrants were received or issued, which is up from 7 in July. 16 uniform traffic crashes, down 3 from July. No private property crashes. We received 419 total calls for service, which is down from 5. Of those received, 380 were emergency calls, which was on par with July. There's a little fluctuation there. For the month of August, Thursday was the busiest day of the week. Interestingly enough, Tuesday was the most busiest day in July. We have 2 cadets currently in the police academy who are hopefully on track to graduate just shy of Christmas this year and to move on to the FTO program. And we have replaced our big truck that we had with a more reliable, more conventional Humvee for the same purposes of public outreach events, critical incidents, and the like. It was through the federal 1033 program. Didn't cost the city anything other than registration and insurance. And I think that's it for me.
Any questions? Will the Humvee be at National Night Out tonight?
It's over there and it's running and it looks nice. So swing by and check out the Humvee.
All right.
So,
Hey, what-
I have a question. Go ahead, Ken.
I
Yes.
was just gonna ask, what do we do with the big truck that we had?
It went back to where we had it from on loan. It actually belonged through the same program through Harris County, and we were being allowed to use it, so we returned it in order to be able to take advantage of the program.
Gotcha.
How many officers do we have on staff now? Are we short or are we?
We are
Never?
short. We are down 4. So we're currently staffed minimally on 3 shifts. 1 shift is fully staffed with 3, and we are still down 4 on sworn staff. 5 total for personnel, and that's not counting who we have in the academy at this time.
You said it was 2.
2, yes. I won't count them till they graduate.
All right. Well, then we will move on to the fire. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the month of August, for the fire department, on fire responses, we had 5 fire calls that were actual fires when we got there. We had 17 fire responses for rescue or EMS, where they responded where our ambulance was out or our ambulance needed assistance. The engines responded to them. We had 1 good intent community assist call, had 7 false alarms. That's down dramatically. We responded to 1 mutual aid fire with Harris County. We received automatic aid from Troup County on fire alarms or fires 6 times, and automatic aid from Lynette 1 time. for fire calls. Total fire response for West Point Fire Department and partners was 38 for the month of August. On the EMS side, we transported 16 patients to East Alabama Lanier. We transported 39 to Wellstar, West Georgia. We had 26 non-transport responses. We transported 1 to the landing zone in the month of August. Total EMS calls handled by West Point Fire Department was 82 for the month of August. We also handled 1 mutual aid EMS call for Troup County for AMR. We provided mutual aid to Lynette or East Alabama 1 time. We received mutual aid from Harris County 4 times for EMS and 6 times from Lynette for EMS, giving a total EMS response for West Point Fire Department and partners of 194 for a cumulative total for fire and EMS responses of 132 for the month of August. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Public Works.
Public Work Department consists of street department, sanitation, and shop. Sanitation is the sway cars to come around your house, pick up curbside, pick up limb and C&D. They did 105 tons for the month of August, and plus they were averaging 3 days of going around the city picking up. So if you sit some side of the road today, in 3 days they'll be back beside your house again. That was the average total. For us, garbage and recycle missing. What we talking about that is if Amway's come and miss your garbage or recycle, once they call City Hall and Amway missed again, then we go out and pick it up. For the month of August, it was still 0. So if Amway missed your garbage, they were going back out and pick it back up. So we didn't have to go back and do none of that. For us, tires, TVs, and trash bag. What we consider trash bag is areas that like Kia Parkway, Kia Boulevard, and certain streets in the city. We had to go around and pick up trash. Where people just nasty folk just throwing trash out the windows. And we see around town people just all of a sudden just throwing tires everywhere. So we do have to go pick them up and flat screen TV. So for the month of August, we had 15 TVs we picked up, no tires, and we collected 69 bags of trash that we picked up around the city. For its equipment man down, we got a large boom mower, we got a small one. Both of the boom mowers are down this time. One of them cost one of the own had a crack in it, and that's the large boom mower, and the small boom mower, the frame's cracked. So we ordered them too, and they just ain't came in yet. The inmates, we get inmates from Harris County. They come around and they mostly cut cemetery, pick up trash, and egg streets for the city. So they cut all the cemetery twice this month for the month of August, and they went around and picked up trash on Kia Boulevard, Kia Parkway, Donna Gillum, and certain city streets. We like to keep the corridor clean. At State Line Road, 29, 10th Street, Kia Parkway, and Kia Boulevard. We also do 103 sometimes, and Boy Scout Road. So they also do that. They also cut the city lots. City got a few lots around the city that the inmates keep up for us too, while they're cutting grass and stuff like that. Street department. Around this time right here, the street department real big is cutting grass. We got a lot of grass we had to cut during the summer month. So for us grass, we usually cut like Harris County Business Park, Kia Parkway, Kia Boulevard, 10th Street, 29, State Line, a few more other places. You can read it in your report. We also do patching too. So we always had to asphalt and patch potholes and stuff in the streets like that. They did a lot of patching in August. Just to name a few, they did 633 Path Street, West 12th Street, and 5th Avenue, Avenue F and East 7th Street, 1701 East 12th Street, and 817 East 6th Street. They did that. They also come in early, around 6 o'clock in the morning, and they clean town. We've been mixing it up right here lately because the sidewalk downtown needs to be pressure washed. So either they pressure wash or blow off town. So they come in at 6 o'clock in the morning and do that before they come to work. They're doing it 2 days a week, but we finna start 3 days a week now because the leaf finna start falling downtown. So we also had a couple contractors come in. We had JBC contract came in, did 144 feet of curbing in August, and they also did 40 feet of sidewalks and did 2 flumes. And we also had another contract come in. They do like they redid the fence at the cemetery, Marsley Cemetery. They do all that kind of stuff for us, and specialized storm drain we need done. So they did. They replaced the fence at Marseille, and they did 2 storm drains in Marseille that kept me getting broke because they were concrete, so we changed them to a metal one. And they did one in front of 405 East at 405 Avenue E and 414 Avenue E, and they did one on West 12th and 3rd Avenue. So that's about all we did for August. Any questions?
The curves that you did, were they new or you just replaced?
We replaced them. Any more?
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Next, Dennis. Community development.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have for August for the Community Development Department, which also consists of myself for planning and zoning, code enforcement, and permits and inspections and GIS. Also have the youth center as well. Right now, what I've dealt with in August was I was dealing with a couple of developers and contractors, which are doing due diligence on 2 new projects that they are interested in. Nothing is definitive on that as yet. We had 2 soil erosion plans that were submitted to the state. We have to do the review. Tony Hicks helps me on that quite a bit because he's certified in that. He's our code enforcement. One for DaySol and the other one for the Mobus parking. The past training that we've had within, and one was a little bit earlier than this, but we had a couple in August. I attended the Georgia Association of Zoning Administrators, picked up a lot of information on zoning and law, court case law. Paul, our newest building inspector, attended the Georgia House Builders with Will Hart, who is our contractor with CAA, and got some updates on the current codes, electrical and swimming pool, I believe it is. And then on his own, Tony Hicks got recertified in his state card for the red card, which gives him the certification to do plan reviews for environmental. I had 1 open records request in August, and I had to do 2 letters of zoning verification. As far as the permits, we had 10 permits in August. Paul completed 50 visits on properties. He was involved in 12 meetings, whether it be with developers, contractors, or complainants. In total, he had 55 inspections for projects where it's single family, and sometimes he will go out with CAA on some of their projects on the industrial, just to learn more as we're going on. He had 8 customer contacts, submitted, he completed 2 certificates of occupancy for final inspection and dealt with 3 violations. Tony, our code enforcement, pulled 49 signs in the month of August, mailed out 27 notices of violation, did inspections, and this is on all properties, individual lots. He did, for soil and erosion inspections, he did 72, assisted other departments, 3, dealt with 11 complaints, was involved in 9 of our meetings, and assisted citizens on 13 phone calls. And that's what we have for the month of August.
Any questions? All right, thank you. And finally, recreation.
Good evening. I'm gonna start a recap on some, because we finished up in August, our spring and summer activities. I'm gonna just go through this really quick, catch up. And, based on softball, we had 522 children playing, boys and girls playing, baseball and softball with 45 teams. And a lot of folks don't realize what goes in that with, we can't do the program without this. There's 180 volunteer coaches. They go through training and background checks before they get on the field. And we had 6 summer camps with 190 participants. There was 2 art camps, baseball, softball, baseball, and soccer camps. The splash pad parks, we averaged over 3,000 people at the one over here on 10th and 9th. And then the river park would estimate around the same thing, possibly more because it's open from dusk to dark. So when that one closed, they still can come over here. And it goes from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And our summer playground from schools out from June to July, we average around 30 to 40 children from 8:30 to 1 o'clock with activities and breakfast and lunch. We feed them, and we use West Point Elementary facility for that. We serve about 1,500 breakfasts and lunches too. And the fall activities will, go back to that. A lot of times y'all hear that it's nothing for the kids to do. If they come to us at 8:30, they get out at 1 o'clock, they still can go to the CARES program from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock with minimum fee. This one's free. And then they can come play baseball, softball from 6 o'clock to 9:30 at night. So it's time for them to go to bed at that point. So if anybody ever asks you, there is activities for them to do. Fall activities where we're at now, between football, flag football, cheerleading, and soccer, we got 30 teams with 120 volunteer coaches. To give you an idea, in 2023, we had 364 volunteer coaches for 91 teams. But you always got to remember, we can't do this program without them volunteer coaches. And had 91 teams, we had 90 sponsors, and that's unbelievable for a small town. And we got the River Park, we have 2 activities down there just about every weekend. And Virginia Cook is rented every weekend. And then we got some during the week. We got a repast tomorrow, just different activities we got going on over there. And we always meeting with point coaches and administration on a regular basis. And 2 major projects that we had in maintenance, we seal coated the parking lots and restriped them, which was well overdue. And then we have a new program, Peach State vouchers. If they got Peach State insurance through the state, if they get their child, go through a wellness check, dental check, and whatever else is required right there, they get a $100 voucher and it'll pay for their sport. So it's free if they take the opportunity to go do that. And we do give like a scholarship. If they come in with any kind of assistance, we give them, it's only $20 instead of $35. So there's no reason for a child not to play, but we'll work with them either way. And that's about it. If you got any questions?
Mike, do we have a girls flag football team?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's just coming in new. It will be coming.
Okay.
Because all the high schools have it now. And we're looking at it.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, that wraps up the monthly reports. First item in new business, we have the Historic Preservation Commission appointment. And Kristen, you have that for us?
Yes, in your packet, you see the report that we share yearly. There are 2 appointments that are expiring in October. We have Marshall Sapp and Jane Fuller for the Historic Preservation Commission. We did receive a new application for Marshall Sapp. He is interested in being reappointed. I have not heard from Jane Fuller if she's interested or not to be reappointed.
Okay. All right, any questions, y'all? Comments? Thank you. Next, we have the intergovernmental agreement between the West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development. Ed?
Yes, sir. Council, you have some information in your packet. If you want to turn to that, I want to give you a little bit of the background where we are. Y'all are aware that in late 2023, Coca-Cola Bottling gifted the property where their facility was in West Point at Exit 2 to the West Point Development Authority. The authority took the property and entered into some communication about how to best utilize that. And in April of 24, they issued a request for proposals, and they wanted to develop the site with an emphasis on a hotel located there. So in June of this year, they took the RFPs, went through those, and picked a developer to move forward with in the process of negotiating, looking at the site, seeing what was the best concept for that. And they really decided on a concept that would be 4 parcels to use to develop. And that site really narrowed down to be parcel 4 was the best location, and you can see that on the drawing. So, in the last few months, the negotiation has narrowed down to that parcel. The developer has asked that they develop the parcel itself, and the city and the development authority provide the infrastructure to the site, and that they would receive the site at no cost. The other parcels that are there, the other 3 parcels would be sold, which would help then develop the remaining parcels that are there. Help to develop the infrastructure for the remaining parcels that are there. What is in the RFP is for the city and the development authority to share in those costs, so they would be split equally. There's a copy, again, of that intergovernmental agreement in your package. So, the cost estimate to do this is about $1.2 million. The road entrance, we had a development site services look at it, and that's only, again, for the phase 1 that's highlighted on the drawing, is about $500,000. Utilities, Sandy put those together with the utility department, $350,000. All utilities are relatively close to the site, so it's pretty easy to get utilities in. Utility costs, but material costs are very high. The demo of the existing building, the parking lot, the footings, slab, everything, $300,000. And the detention pond, there is a detention, retention facility that's already there. We think we can use that for detention. Got some work to do on it, but, we think that can be done relatively inexpensive to meet the needs of the site. So the contribution from the city would be $635,000. Portion of that from the general fund, utility funds, and then SPLOST 6 for Trigg County next year. We'll have a portion of that will be for water sewer development. The Development Authority has received a letter of intent from the developer. The board will meet on Friday to make a decision on that LOI. Then the next step would be for the developer to take that LOI and all the work that's been done and move that forward with the franchise, the hotel franchise, to secure that. And then once that's done, there'll be an agreement, a development agreement between the authority and the developer. So, hopefully all that happens, get into construction next year, and we'll have a new hotel late 2026, early 27.
And maybe 3 nice out parcels.
That's right.
What is parcel 1? Just an unused parcel at this point?
Yeah, I mean, that's existing today, that's the front portion, or that's most of the existing building except for that side. So, yeah, that'll just be, we'll be marking that as soon as we get the infrastructure in to set.
And the detention pond that we've got here is big enough for all of the whole.
That's, Josh Moon looked at that, he's on the Development Authority board, and he felt like that, it's certainly large enough, he believes, for this site, and said it wouldn't take a lot to improve it, to get it where we need it.
Anybody else have any questions?
I'm sure there are a lot of cars on this little diagram backed up at the drive-through restaurants.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
I was just making a comment behind Joel.
Oh, okay. All right, then, I'm gonna move on then. Next, we have the West Point Christmas on the Hooch sponsorship.
Yes, sir, Christmas on the Hooch is scheduled for December the 7th this year. The sponsorship that's being requested would be for the large attractions, and there's actually gonna be a real snow area for this event. All of the sponsors go towards those large attractions and things for people to come to the event to do at no charge. So there's also gonna be bounce houses, food, shopping, crafts, live music, Santa, and more things for people to do, free gifts for the kids and all that. So it was well received, and I think a good event last year. Our sponsorship last year for the event was $5,000 for 2023.
All right. Anybody have any questions, comments? Okay. The items on the business meeting agenda for October 14th, 2024 at 5:30 PM will be the Historic Preservation Committee appointment, this intergovernmental agreement between the West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development, and the West Point Christmas on the Hooch sponsorship. So that's it. Do we have any announcements this evening? Nothing? All right. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, that's it.